Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Saturday, May 15th, at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 655 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Prince Andrew quietly removed as patron of almost 50 organizations. If Earth falls, will interstellar space travel be our salvation? Heart study, low and regular dose aspirin safe, effective. We've tried democracy and it failed. Adoring El Salvadorians swoon over their millennial dictator. How do you stay in love forever? Married readers share their tips. An aspiring journalist who interviewed Obama at age 11 has died at 23. More than 86 arrests made in 24 hours in Go Topless Jeep weekend. Israeli airstrike destroys AP, Al Jazeera offices on live TV. I flew Delta for the first time since it stopped blocking middle seats and found cracks showing in its mask enforcement. Here's what it was like. Watch the terrifying moment a Florida fisherman was chased by a huge alligator. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Israeli airstrike flattens building, home to AP and other media in Gaza City, NPR. $100 million New Jersey Deli fires wrestling coach CEO Paul Morna, related firm Lewis gets new president, CNBC. Iowa's 7-day COVID-19 positivity rate dips below 3%, KCCI Des Moines. Damon Weaver, who interviewed Obama as an 11-year-old, dies age 23, The Guardian. Massive replenishment begins to ease U.S. fuel shortages after hack, Reuters. Joel and James considering grievance to recoup potential lost 2021 salary from Denver Broncos, source says, ESPN. Jeopardy! Fans stunned by Ben Affleck clue in episode filmed weeks before J.Lo, Ben Affleck's reunion, Fox News. Natalia Bryant wears late dad Kobe Bryant Hall of Fame jacket ahead of induction ceremony, Yahoo Entertainment. Joshua Bassett on Feel Something and S2 of High School Musical, the series MTV. Rocket Lab's Electron rocket suffers failure, loses payload of 2 satellites, The Verge. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Brace yourselves for the Bridgerton spin-off that was just announced. AP president, shocked and horrified at Israel bombing of Gaza media building. Here's what happened when I told Congress the black and ugly truth about long-haul COVID. Israeli airstrike on Gaza destroys building with Associated Press, Al Jazeera bureaus. Japan expands COVID-19 emergency just 2 months before Tokyo Olympics. We learned how to fight a war nobody cared about, 20 dark years in Afghanistan. Watch, Dust Devil takes 70-pound dog for a terrifying spin. Tree trimmer charged over deadly throat slashings that left 3 dead. Don Lemon teases end of an era at CNN, but it's not what you think. GOP rep predicts how Republican purge of Liz Cheney will backfire. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. No injuries reported in grain elevator explosion. FL governor plans to pardon gym owner. After parking lot brawl, Target pulls trading cards. Girl, 5, donates savings to county K-9 unit. Doves released to thank local nurses. Mom arrested, alleged abuse after 5-year-old son dies. Search for suspect continues after cat killings. Residents gather for spring visit from mother duck. Man almost falls victim to apartment scammer. Middle school students build basketball court in memory of classmate. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. More than 70% of older U.S. adults are fully vaccinated. What is the future of New York City? Israeli strike hits Gaza media tower as violence intensifies. Tensions among Democrats grow over Israel as the left defends Palestinians. What is happening in Israel and Gaza? Here's what to know. What would it take to vaccinate the world against COVID? Bias is a big problem, but so is noise. Paulina Porizkova on Instagram, Aaron Sorkin and aging. Try this whole banana bread recipe for brunch. Colonial Pipeline now delivering millions of gallons an hour, owner says. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Bob Baffert facing lawsuits from bettors after Medina Spirit's Kentucky Derby win, report. California Governor candidate Caitlyn Jenner targets Newsom's failings in new campaign video. Former Navy pilot recalls seeing hundreds of UFOs, calls them security threat. Shauna Mogler gets Travis Barker tattoo removed after shading his relationship with Kourtney Kardashian. How straight lightning could prove the existence of dark matter, report. Pickle-flavored hard seltzer is April Fool's joke come to life. John Travolta, Bruce Willis set to star together in Paradise City 27 years after Pulp Fiction. California residents spot possible meteor in the Bay Area sky. Jeopardy! Fans stunned by Ben Affleck clue in episode filmed weeks before J.Lo, Ben Affleck's reunion. Ransomware primer, you need to know these 5 things. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Saturday, May 15th. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Preakness Stakes 2021 preview, can Medina Spirit overcome controversy? Tax refunds delayed as filing deadline draws near. Mystery, 7 years after her disappearance, still no traces of mother Amanda Deggio. UFAM, WWE's Braun Strowman believes Baltimore Ravens rookie Ben Cleveland may be long-lost brother. Stream the AT&T Braun Nelson. Amazing video, cat jumps from 5th floor window of burning building, and lands safely. Pernell Walker on Showtime City on a Hill, Grace Campbell is not all bad and not all good. Woman who proudly served in Army repeatedly harassed for parking in veterans-only spots, vets aren't just someone's grandpa. PetSmart employees charged after dog dies during grooming, CBS Sports reporter AJ Ross left heartbroken. Stimulus check update, will you get a 4th relief payment? The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Anyone living in Bolton is invited for COVID jab before 5 p.m. today. Experts warn vaccines are less effective at reducing transmission of Indian variant. Lily James appears heated as she wears hair curlers in Pam Anderson's iconic red Baywatch swimsuit. UK records another 2,027 COVID cases in 1% fall on last week. Daily Mail's haunting montage of just a fraction of Britain's COVID victims, writes Sarah Vine. Thousands of protesters marched through Hyde Park in solidarity with people of Palestine. Law student, 29, who said women have vaginas faces disciplinary action by a university. COVID jab sites prepare for flood of patients as doses are accelerated for over 50s. Time-lapse video shows barely any cyclists using low-traffic cycle lane in Chiswick as motorists rage. Health Minister Edward Arkwright defends delay in shutting Britain's borders with India. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. Media building hid in Gaza amid intense Israeli airstrikes. At Britain's Wembley Stadium, the venerable FA Cup is also a science study for post-pandemic crowds. Ethiopia again delays national election amid deadly tensions. Israeli strike destroys Gaza building with AP, other media. Myanmar frees Japanese journalist as gesture to Tokyo. China lands rover on Mars in milestone achievement. What's behind the violence in Israel and Gaza? She was a transgender social media star in Cameroon. Now she faces 5 years in prison. Taiwan raises coronavirus alert level as residents stockpile toilet paper and food. India's coronavirus crisis spreads to its villages, where healthcare is hard to find. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Chelsea v Leicester City, FA Cup Final, Live. Hacked U.S. energy pipeline on track to restore full service but shortages persist. Black U.S. high school student forced to cut hair during softball game. When a vinyl record becomes an artist's canvas, in pictures. How to cure type 2 diabetes, without medication. Rangers go unbeaten, Southampton 3-1 Fulham and more, clock watch, as it happened. Thousands join London protest against violence in Gaza. Gerrard eager to build after Rangers seal first unbeaten season since 1899. Ewan Murray. Damon Weaver, who interviewed Obama as an 11-year-old, dies age 23. Zlatan Ibrahimovic ruled out of Euro 2020 due to knee injury. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Soldiers who perished on secret mission are memorialized. Biden meets with dreamers in the White House to push pathway to citizenship. U.S. warns extremists may strike as virus restrictions ease. It's horrifying, civilians tell of fear, uncertainty in Israel-Hamas conflict. Which states are still requiring masks after the CDC's updated guidance? Back-to-back tornadoes kill 12 in China, over 300 injured. At least 4 people slashed on New York City subway in separate incidents. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Israel-Gaza conflict rages as U.S. envoy visits. Hong Kong's Ray Cordero, world's most adorable DJ, retires at 96. Gaza tower containing media offices collapses after Israeli strike. Dr. Congo-wide clashes, court hands down death sentences. How Israel's Iron Dome missile shield works. COVID, first Australian repatriation flight from India lands in Darwin. Cranes, flying giant returning to Ireland after 300 years. China's Hurong rover, spacecraft successfully lands on Mars. China lands its Hurong rover on Mars. Israeli-Palestinian conflict gives Biden foreign policy headache. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Essential workers raise concerns about new CDC mask guidance. Mask mandates fall in some states, remain in others. Latest COVID-19 updates. AP statement on Israeli attack on office building. Retailers make way for mask-free shopping after new CDC guidance. Remote learners at North Carolina high school excluded from prom, even if they were invited. The day in pictures. Flames engulf cargo ships remains off U.S. coast. London protest against Israeli attacks on Gaza. Israel strike in Gaza destroys building with AP, other media. Palestinians gather to mark Nakba Day. Latest airstrike by Israeli forces on Gaza. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Northern California tree trimmer charged in 3 slayings. Column, if Garcetti leaves early for India ambassador post, how will he be remembered? Newsom offers $1 billion to complete critical transit projects before 2028 Olympics. In a major milestone, more than 50% of California residents are now vaccinated against COVID-19. Column, how unreliable is the Postal Service? It lost to Holocaust survivors' remains. Despite assurances, some don't feel safe taking their masks off just yet. Photos of the first USC graduation ceremony at the Coliseum in 71 years. Bobcat and her kitten spotted roaming UC Riverside's Botanic Gardens. Huge budget boost to UC, CSU and community colleges target student housing and job training. San Francisco police chief apologizes for officer shooting burglary suspect. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Saturday, May 15th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. The suicide of a 17-year-old girl who accused police of sexual abuse sparked an uprising in southwest Colombia that left at least 1 person dead, 35 injured and the local police jail destroyed. Palestinian march in Paris defies ban, is met by tear gas. Israel's police chief has accused ultranationalist MP Itamar Ben-Gvir of adding fuel to the fire in Jerusalem and of being partly responsible for the violent demonstrations that have reignited the fuse of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Israel's defense minister Benny Gantz, if citizens of Israel have to sleep in shelters, then Gaza will burn. There is no other equation. Pfizer makes billions from COVID-19 vaccines, paid for with tax money, but the company has a different attitude when it comes to their own taxes. Pfizer tries to avoid taxes worldwide, through the Netherlands. Thousands join London march in solidarity with Palestine. Al Jazeera office in Gaza destroyed by Israeli airstrike. Gaza News. Thousands march in Free Palestine rallies in Sydney and Melbourne. Top Japanese CEO says hosting the Olympics amounts to a suicide mission. Israel has given a warning that it will bomb the building that houses Al Jazeera offices and other international media channels in Gaza City. Heavy rocket barrage on central Israel, Taib, Kalansaw and the West Bank. In Indian state of Uttar Pradesh, over 2,000 dead bodies found within 1,140 kilometers on bank of Ganga River. Users on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok decry censorship of Israel posts. At least 139 Palestinians, including some 40 children, have been killed in the Gaza Strip since Monday. 950 others have been wounded. In the occupied West Bank, Israeli forces have killed at least 13 Palestinians protesting against continued Israeli occupation and the ongoing bombardment of Gaza. Family of 10 killed in Israeli strike on Gaza. The next headlines are from Forbes. Will your student loans get cancelled? Legally speaking, no. In pictures, destruction mounts from widening conflict between Israel and Palestinians. Self-driving cars will help soften the blow when asking loved ones to retire their keys. 5 storylines to watch during Stanley Cup Chase 2021. Israeli airstrike destroys Gaza building housing media offices as crisis enters 6th day. Preakness Stakes 2021, post time, TV schedule, odds and picks for Medina Spirit, concert tour and more. Second round pick Samuel Cosme looks to end Washington football team's round 2 drought. You should be watching Warrior on HBO Max. Billie Eilish, DJ Khaled, Sam Hunt and Travis Scott, 5 songs making moves on the Hot 100. Brandon Figueroa vs. Luis Neri, odds, records, prediction. The next headlines are from Nature.com. See Austin Angel, 1933 to 2021. Actin mixes up mitochondria for inheritance. China has landed its first rover on Mars. Here's what happens next. India's neighbors race to sequence genomes as COVID surges. Breastfeeding influences the neonatal virome. Coronapod, the variant blamed for India's catastrophic second wave. Kids with bubble baby disease see gains after gene therapy. Mining the gaps of chromosome 8. Microbes in Neanderthals' mouths reveal their carb-laden diet. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,705,277,413 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Streaming deals key to upfront ad sales as networks gun for price hikes. Stars Run the World celebrates premiere at Newey House Hollywood. How Finding You composers crafted an Irish musical landscape. Damon Weaver, kid reporter who interviewed President Obama, dies at 23. Israel airstrikes destroy Associated Press and Al Jazeera bureaus in Gaza. CNN gets ready for Don Lemon tonight. Cinemas in Taipei order to close for first time due to virus surge. American Idol sets a dozen stars to perform on finale, including Luke Combs, Chaka Khan, Sheryl Crow. SEAL Team, Clarice could move to Paramount Plus from CBS. CBS orders Smallwood and Good Sam to series. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. After Chauvin verdict, black police officers consider what has changed. Israeli airstrike flattens building housing AP and other media in Gaza City. Israeli strike in Gaza destroys building that housed AP, other media. Vaccines in, masks off. Does this mean it's time to go back to office? When your company is named COVID, you've heard all the jokes. Stolen beehives devastate French beekeepers. Blinken to head north on Arctic trip. WHO report calls pandemic preventable disaster, calls out lack of global leadership. Complaints as customers fight airlines for refunds from pandemic cancellations. Growing power outages pose grave threat to people who need medical equipment to live. The following headlines are from The Week. The next 6 months will challenge White House to stay firm on no-fear inflation stance, economist says. Colonial Pipeline attack increases bipartisan urgency to reform cyber attack reporting laws. What will China's rover be researching on Mars? Al Jazeera accuses Israel of war crime after tower housing its Gaza offices destroyed. 10 things you need to know today, May 15, 2021. Palestinian politicians skeptical of Biden envoy's chances of securing ceasefire between Israel, Hamas. 7 scathingly funny cartoons about Liz Cheney's ouster. Maybe the next winner is Ponzi coin? 6 books John McWhorter loves. Nicki Minaj speaks publicly for the first time about her father's February hit-and-run death. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. A leggy this week, for whom the bill tolls. The next headlines are from Physics Buzz News. An orchid's best friend. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Astronomers measure the background brightness of the night sky across the world. Canary Islands are the darkest in the survey. Massive stars mix hydrogen in their cores, causing them to pulse every few hours or days. Older stars rotate faster than expected. Concerns about James Webb's Ariane 5 rocket might push the launch back. These are the news headlines for today, Saturday, May 15th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Why is Mars sometimes bright and sometimes faint? Warming is clearly visible in new U.S. climate normals. Arcturus, brightest star of the north. Photos, young moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars. The next news is from Politico. Care to boycott White House-side celebration over Israel support. McKissick whips Wood in South Carolina GOP race. Student reporter who interviewed Obama at White House dies at 23. Biden admin reroutes billions in emergency stockpile, COVID funds to border crunch. Israel strike in Gaza destroys building with AP, other media offices. Democrats embrace a tougher tack toward Israel as violence flares. Arizona audit divides wobbling state GOP. A federal government left completely blind on cyber attacks looks to force reporting. Stolen election myth rattles key GOP race. Still buddies, Mideast violence tests Biden and Netanyahu's friendship. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Djokovic plays twice as Nadal cruises into Rome final. Israeli strike destroys Gaza tower housing media outlets as violence intensifies. Richmond coach reveals pre-game doubts on Riley. Chefs say budget money for aged care won't end up on residents' plates. We are all responsible for the state of the nation. Rachel was jailed for stealing an ice cream in Victoria in 2020. Accidental Premier no more. Palasiksak is Australia's longest-serving female government leader. People are dying in ambulances. Health ministers say nation gripped by health crisis. Call for NDIS fix. Using your head is probably not a good thing. Safety concerns for soccer kids. NSW Education had the world's biggest collection of bubble buildings. Now most are gone. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Where should I retire? Work and a few vacations each year is all we've done for the past 34 years. This couple has $2.6 million and no idea where to retire. The Margin, here's where Jeff Bezos' super yacht ranks among the world's most expensive boats. Mutual Funds Weekly, these money and investing tips can help you when inflation is burning a hole in your wallet. Walt Disney World stops requiring visitors to wear face masks outdoors. Where should I retire? We want moderate weather and live within an hour of the mountains and less than 3 hours to the beach. Where should we retire? Market Extra, inflation is climbing, but it isn't blasting past its 30-year range, yet. 2 million Americans will lose extra unemployment benefits. Here's when it will happen in your state. Econofact, how to fix the unemployment system to time extra benefits so they are just the right size to help workers and the economy. Capital Report, Fed needs to wake up to the need for a digital dollar, says former CFTC head John Carlo. Lab accident theory on COVID-19 origin must be probed seriously, scientists say. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Unpacking 5G SEPs and standards contribution data, IPWatchdog.com. Ford has patented new tech that would show ads in cars, wonderful engineering. Law 360 cheat sheet, Peloton's IP battles, Law 360. Let's end the offshoring of U.S. patents, Law 360. Philip Morris faces import ban in Reynolds patent fight, Bloomberg. COVID vaccine patent waivers worry drug makers, Crane's Chicago business. Pioneer of microwave and millimeter wave electronics dies at 80, IEEE spectrum. You are suffering from tab overload, big think. The Guns of John Moses Browning Review, the Edison of Modern Firearms, The Wall Street Journal. They don't encourage innovation, patent box policy criticized in 2015 report, Sydney Morning Herald. The next headlines are from Quartz. Remembering the architect who birthed our obsession with beautiful office interiors. A new book reveals how Germany ran a sophisticated spy operation in South Africa during World War II. Weekend edition, cancel the Olympics, cyber privateers, genetic medicine. Should companies pay ransoms to hackers? The future of Reddit may look a lot like Roblox. Why rare earth permanent magnets are vital to the global climate economy. Gaza conflict intensifies, unmasking concerns, Russia versus Tom Cruise. Where can you find a PS5? Try sneaker resale site stocks. What is mucormycosis, the black fungus disease impacting COVID-19 patients in India? South Africa broadens its COVID-19 vaccine program in the face of a potential third wave. The following headlines are from TechDirt. Angry Joe tears too into Twitch over its one-sided approach to DMCA takedowns. Content moderation case study, knitting community ravel which bans all talk supporting President Trump, 2019. Chinese government's hacker competition is being used to find exploits to wield against Uyghur citizens. Michigan legislator with no understanding of the First Amendment wants to fine fact-checkers for pointing out his lies. FISA court says FBI may be abusing surveillance powers, will continue to allow it to abuse surveillance powers. Daily Deal, the 2021 Microsoft Azure and Security Training Bundle. The flopping of Trump's blog proves that it's not free speech he's upset about, but free reach. Microsoft data shows that the FCC's broadband maps are fantasy. Steam still cannot seem to keep its hands off some sex games despite hands-off policy. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. FA Cup. Sabrina Ionescu. Don Lemon. Love, Death, and Robots. Ikerly. Angelina Jolie. Scott Peterson. Elise Stefanik. Preakness 2021. Newcastle vs Man City. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Cringe, unimpressed viewers slam COVID vaccine video backed by football in UK government campaign ahead of FA Cup final, video. COVID-19 vaccine mandates are welcome by majority of young Americans, survey shows. Will not be silenced, AP, Al Jazeera condemn Israel for bombing Gaza media offices and nearly killing their journalists. Lionel Messi landmark tumbles after sensational Premier League hat-trick by Pep Guardiola's latest Manchester City prodigy, video. Warms your heart to see, American conservatives celebrate Israeli bombing of AP and Al Jazeera offices. Lisbon link shows how close Cristiano Ronaldo could be to making a Juventus exit. The next 8 days will be decisive to his future. Global investor appetite for Chinese bonds continues to grow, with holdings up by $10 billion in April. Watch police using water cannon to disperse pro-Palestinian protesters in Paris. Civilian killed by shrapnel after rockets from Gaza hit Tel Aviv suburbs, video. The story is untrue. Ukrainian tennis ace Yastremska slams report that she asked lover to say banned substance entered via sex. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Inflation, or deflation. Toronto cancels entire summer of events despite 1.6 million of city's 3 million residents being vaccinated. Biden phones Netanyahu after Israel flattens AP offices in Gaza, has yet to condemn attack. Praise the 1%, they provide improving standards of living for the 99%. I don't care if you're vaccinated, you dink. Wisconsin teacher put on leave after verbally abusing maskless student. China lands Mars rover after 9 minutes of terror. Stores, states drop mask mandates in wake of CDC's updated guidance. Still time to get on the trade of a decade. Taby, on the hypocrites at Apple who fired Chaos Monkey's author. JP Morgan already has 30 to 40 investment bankers traveling daily again. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. World reaction to Israel's continuing attacks in Gaza. For CBC, a dog story is more important than Israel's apartheid. Silence the story, Israeli bombing of media offices condemned. Al Jazeera strongly condemns Israel's destruction of Gaza offices. Gaza Tower housing Al Jazeera office destroyed by Israeli attack. 30 sentenced to death over anti-police clashes in Dr. Congo. Will the return of big government lead to a spike in inflation? 10 bodies found on former El Salvador police officers' property. Report warns of Uyghur forced labor in solar panel supply chain. UN boss, foreign fighters still in Libya in breach of ceasefire. The next headlines are from Breitbart. FNC's kill me aid, CDC's new rules vindicate Cruz, Paul, DeSantis. Watch, 87 arrested in Texas go topless Jeep rally. All Swedish women accused of defamation connected to Me Too found guilty. Jen Psaki, illegal aliens are part of what the American dream represents. Brooks, standing with Israel no longer an easy position for a Democrat. Brooks, many times Hamas acts, then Israel responds with an overreaction. Farage predicts 20,000 illegal boat migrants will arrive in 2021, condemns media for conspiracy of silence. 3 days, countdown to Alex Marlow's bombshell book breaking the news. Video, Texas neighborhood searches for alleged duck killer. FNC's Carlson, new CDC mask rules a troubling development for Democrats whose main interest is power, not public health. The next headlines are from Odd, Strange and Bizarre Things. 16 of the oddest animal rescues. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. This week's inspiring horoscopes from Rob Bresney's Free Will Astrology. Rubber made from dandelions is making tires more sustainable, truly a wondrous plant. NASA space probe detects persistent hum deep in the cosmos, 14 billion miles from Earth. These beautiful Italian towns will pay you to move there if you work remotely. The quest for rare wood is endangering forests. Now we can just 3D print replicas made from wood waste instead. Kids have been reading longer, more difficult books in lockdown, and it's boosting moods. First grader wrote to Old Navy asking for girls' jeans to have pockets, and they sent her 4 pairs. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Saturday, May 15th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Coronavirus is a living organism, has right to live, former Uttarakhand CM. Woman hoarding gas in stolen car catches on fire after crash while evading police. California woman may have washed $26 lottery fortune down the drain. Brits urged to drink 124 pints each to help struggling pubs get back on their feet. California governor candidate under investigation over 1,000 pounds bear sidekick. Mammals can breathe through anus in emergencies. Baltimore man facing federal indictment for using female aliases on social media and messaging applications to entice boys to send him sexually explicit images and videos. Cat jumps from 5th floor of burning building, bounces and strolls away. South Carolina has more self-proclaimed hoarders than any other U.S. state. Target stops selling Pokémon cards, citing safety concerns in stores. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. After a year of Zoom meetings, we'll need to rebuild trust through eye contact. Get one of these Kodak projectors for the ultimate summer movie night experience. Here's why predicting space weather is even harder than it sounds. What we're expecting from Google I/O 2021. This quantum paradox will make you question reality. Ex-Apple designer Triphonic speaker may be the hi-fi HomePod we deserve. This AI can tell what an instrument sounds like from pictures. Watch GTA V get an AI-powered photorealistic makeover. This Android TV box streams movies and shows to your TV in up to 6K glory. New AirPods and Apple Music HiFi may arrive next week, but don't bet on it. The following headlines are from Science Daily. New preclinical model could hold the key to better HIV treatments. Sensors can identify threats at the molecular level. New research optimizes body's own immune system to fight cancer. The next headlines are from Information Week. What to do in the wake of the Colonial Pipeline hack. Foursquare's perspective on hybrid work as new normal. Using data as currency, your company's next big advantage. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Saturday, May 15th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA awards contract for information technology support. Texas, Minnesota, Ohio students to hear from astronauts in space. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Mary Tipton, Biden is compromising U.S. response to future pandemics. This Utah distiller puts premium vodka and bourbon in a can. Are the Jazz still Utah's team? Salt Lake City's minister to the political left retires after fighting many a good fight. Why kids may be the losers in Cox's gamble on masks, Robert Garrick writes. The Triple Team, Jazz Coast to victory over Thunder, a weekend rooting guide to Jazz's playoff matchups. Mike Conley scores 10 points in 16 minutes as Utah Jazz pick up much-needed easy win in OKC. Pigs fall out of trailer, wreaking havoc on Utah Highway. West Ridge Academy staffer criminally charged after he allegedly fractured a teen's wrist. Man found dead in home after bountiful fire. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Russia races to beat Tom Cruise and NASA with first movie filmed in space. 3 students sue Lambda School alleging false advertising. How lies on social media are inflaming the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Cloudflare wants to kill the CAPTCHA. AI tool write real estate descriptions without ever stepping inside a home. Australia breaks major record for new solar panel roof installations. China lands its first rover on Mars. Climate emissions shrinking the stratosphere, scientists reveal. Mammals can breathe through their intestines. Apple patents a way to deliver 3D content without 3D glasses. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. City and county leaders encourage vaccinations as mask mandates end. Interstate signs to mark Illinois electric vehicle stations. Authorities rescue 9 human trafficking victims in Missouri. New law to give local prosecutors voice in speaking up about wrongful convictions. Edwardsville businesses thrilled to be a step closer to normal in IL Bridge phase. Some St. Louis businesses keep mask guidelines, others ready to ditch it. Missouri lawmakers end 2021 session with bills on online sales tax, Second Amendment protections. You paid for it, reconstituted Norman School Governing Board elects new leadership. St. Louis Cardinals, no masks needed for fully vaccinated fans, capacity increasing. St. Louis Archdiocese changes mask policies following federal and local mandate rollbacks. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. What to know about USD's in-person graduation ceremonies. Shifting mask guidelines cause confusion for local restaurant patrons. Aztecs softball coach Kathy Van Wyck announces retirement. County reports 261 COVID-19 cases, 3 deaths as hospitalizations drop. Marjorie Taylor Greene's behavior since deleted 2019 video could lead to ethics review. List: Walmart, Costco, Trader Joe's, Publix to drop mask requirements. Activist calls on police to release body-worn footage of rough La Jolla arrest. NFL families call for end to race norming and brain injury payouts to black players. California budget has $35 million for basic income programs. Husband arrested in woman's murder nearly 20 years later. The next headlines are from SpookNews.com. Former U.S. Army Green Beret jailed for 15 years over Russian espionage. Conservative group denies it hired female spies to root out deep state in Trump administration. Worcester child raping pedophile with spy camera jailed for 17 years. Fourth Amendment for sale, Pentagon appears to join FBI warrantless spying club. Russia's secret world of whale spies, and the battle to save one of them. Survivor star among honey traps hired by ex-Brit spy to expose Trump enemies. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. Why China is mostly unhappy with the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. Chengdu police release more video, details in on-campus death of 16-year-old high schooler. The Chinese state enterprise behind Oatly, America's hottest oat milk brand. Twilight's Kiss is a moving romance about two gay men in their golden years. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Saturday, May 15, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. UC schools drop ACT scores for admission. Newsom, new mask mandate in the works. Sex assault suspect tied to 3 cases in Fremont. Conquered man scheme to firebomb homes of people on his enemies list, officials. Elderly man reported missing in San Francisco found safe in Mexico. City College begins vaccinations for kids. Advice for residents after bear was spotted in San Anselmo. Brentwood Golf Course reopens after closing in 2018. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Deaths reported from COVID-19 high for second day in Illinois. Sunshine State showdown, Lightning Panthers in NHL's round 1. The latest, Egypt, Saudi Arabia call for Gaza ceasefire. Fast finishing Penguins open playoffs against Islanders. Durant, Harden, Irving all starting for Nets against Bulls. I had a lot of emotions that night. Elgin couple make final, get engaged on Pooch perfect. Naperville police arrest boy, 15, in downtown stabbing. No maskless free for all yet, here's where precautions remain in place in the suburbs. Northbrook Vigil honors Israeli victims of Hamas rocket attacks. Double lung transplant gives COVID-19 patient from Glendale HTS a second chance at life. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Today in history, Seattle began constructing the only U.S. fallout shelter tucked in an interstate. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Red alert for Tropical Cyclone Tokti 21, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 6.985 million. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.5 m, depth, 19.68 km, in Vanuatu May 15, 2021, 1:58 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone 321, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 6.6 m, depth 10 km, in Indonesia May 14, 2021, 6:33 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Saturday, May 15th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Israel-Palestine conflict latest, airstrike in Gaza destroys building that houses AP, Al Jazeera. A few showers today, but we're keeping an eye on bigger rainmakers. Vehicle flies off overpass, falls 30 feet and driver expected to survive. I felt humiliated, black high school softball player forced to cut braids during game. Governor Abbott speaks at anti-Asian hate rally in Sugar Land. NYC Pride bans NYPD from participating in events, including world-famous march. Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene's combative behavior could spark ethics review. Disney's A Celebration of Festival of the Lion King opens at Animal Kingdom. More than 86 arrests made in 24 hours in Go Topless Jeep weekend in Galveston County. Fred Hartman Bridge undergoing emergency repair this weekend. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Wild West, NHL wins leader Vegas wary of Minnesota matchup. McKissick easily wins third term as South Carolina GOP chair. Statement, AP horrified by Israeli attack on its office. Racist attacks revive demand for Asian American studies. The latest, Turkey condemns attack on Gaza media building. Once a contender in majors, Fowler now needs help getting in. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Police investigate hate crimes at mosque and church in Brooklyn. 3 teens charged in subway slashing spree that injured several people. The COVID vaccines could easily squash the pandemic. The hard part is finding the best incentives. Extra, think you could beat a goose in a fight? Indoor mask mandate still in place as New Yorkers raise concerns about new CDC guidelines. MTA weighs in on mayor's race, boosting candidates that would send more cops to patrol subways. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. NYC ferry crashes into docked barge, shattering windows. Who will be the next Vision Zero mayor? Black and Latino residents have concerns, but mostly satisfied with Suffolk Police survey. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. UN Human Rights Chief appeals for de-escalation in Israel-Palestine crisis. South America's gas dreams. Tanzania helpline calls time on child marriage and abuse. Stand up against hate towards LGBTI people, UN Human Rights Chief urges. COVID-19, wealthy nations urge to delay youth vaccines, donate to solidarity scheme. Civilian casualties climb, as UN chief calls on all parties to immediately cease fighting in Gaza and Israel. Rights experts call for probe into violent crackdown on Colombia protests. Where are the women? How pandemic decisions are ingraining global gender bias. U.S. casts 45 vetoes and counting while protecting a client state. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Yankees suffer COVID resurgence as 8 fully vaccinated players, staff test positive. U.S. delays UN Security Council meeting on Gaza violence. A society based on the social credit system is closer than you think. Ohio Gov launches multi-million-dollar vax lotto to coerce desperate poor people into getting shots. Biden, the rule is now simple, get vaccinated or wear a mask until you do. The U.S. has been through a vaccine rollout like this before, here's what went wrong. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Kid reporter who interviewed Obama at White House dies at 23. Did Senator Inhofe tell EPA nominee that if she didn't behave he'd talk to her daddy? Statement, AP horrified by Israeli attack on its office. Did Ronaldo snub the president of Israel? Was Matt Gaetz the lone no vote on 2017 anti-human trafficking bill? Does Eye of the Moon in Utah photo depict a real phenomenon? Philadelphia now says move victims' remains weren't cremated. Can everyone who's fully vaccinated against COVID-19 go anywhere maskless now? Rep Green's combative behavior could spark ethics review. The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Magnet videos refuel bogus claim of vaccine microchips. Tucker Carlson misrepresents vaccine safety reporting data. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. This Baxter Wood raincoat makes even the gloomiest days more chic. If you need an AC unit, the windmill is the one to get. It's time to celebrate the black women who invented rock and roll. 5 things I cannot wait to do when I finally get back to Ischia. Prince Harry wants to break the cycle. The royals seem stunned and stuck. The world seems to be going back to normal, but I'm not. The unstoppable rise of TV shows that sound like 30 Rock jokes. What everyone can learn from how porn stars do their taxes. Give pandemic-frazzled working moms the support they need, or the economy will suffer. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Zach Wilson's Jets number gives him shot at Super Bowl first. Hannah Berner leaving summer house to tell fart jokes at comedy clubs. Central Park yogi who camps on Wall Street labeled a nuisance by residents. Deshaun Watson's sexual assault case takes settlement twist. The Underground Railroad Season 3 recap, crawl space. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. James Webb Space Telescope launch delay likely, says government report. How TESS hunts more than just exoplanets. The sky this week, see Mercury at its best. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Book excerpt, Extraterrestrial, the first sign of intelligent life beyond Earth. Blue spot on map reveals a warning for the climate. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Student reporter Damon Weaver, youngest person to have interviewed a sitting president, dead at 23. Back-to-back tornadoes kill 12 in China, more than 300 injured. Subpoenas issued to 4 Cuomo accusers as state attorney general's probe moves forward, report. Philadelphia mayor confirms move victims' remains were not actually cremated. Delta will require COVID vaccines for new employees. Israel airstrike in Gaza levels building housing. AP, Al Jazeera, other media. KPMG executive found dead near Texas college months after disappearance. Don Lemon set the internet on fire over name change to show. China becomes second nation to land spacecraft on Mars. Texas man fatally shoots wife, dies by suicide with cops outside home, police. The following headlines are from military.com. Space Force CO who got holiday call from Trump fired over comments decrying Marxism in the military. U.S. and Greece working on deal to expand military cooperation in the Mediterranean. Israeli military accused of using media to trick Hamas. VMI gets first female commander of Corps of Cadets. Niheo Mars, China's Huron rover touches down on Red Planet. Belarus military officer sentenced for leaking document on government crackdown. Exclamation period before Marine Corps boot camp could stave off recruit crud. 1 in custody in connection with incident at Joint Base Andrews. Former Marine who pleaded guilty to decades of sex trafficking sentenced to 30 years. VA will re-examine Agent Orange claims it previously denied. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. 3 men shot on near North Side near the Grand CTA Red Line stop in apparent gunfight, authorities say. Gun used in day-long shooting spree that left 5 dead from Chicago's South Side to Evanston likely was used in other shootings going back to 2009, records show. Coronavirus in Illinois updates. Here's what's happening this weekend with COVID-19 in the Chicago area. 2 people fatally shot and 3 injured at party in Gresham among 5 dead and at least 15 wounded in city shootings since Friday afternoon, police say. Swimming pool scramble to overcome lifeguard shortages. Opening day looms. Teen workforce, unnerved by COVID-19, proves hard to reach. Column, hey, don't throw away those masks yet. COVID-19 turns prom into a promenade, at Soldier Field. Girl, 2, shot in leg near Layton Criminal Court building on Southwest Side. Cook County Commissioner Larry Suffredin announces he'll retire in 2022. State removes youths from Aurora residential facility after troubling report cites improper treatment, years of physical restraints and minors frequently running away. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Is beef the new coal? Climate-friendly eating is on the rise. Undimmed, the battle over a unique European river. Back-to-back tornadoes kill 10 in China, over 300 injured. Synthesizing a new class of bio-inspired, light capturing nanomaterials. Researchers trace path of light in photosynthesis. New technology enables rapid sequencing of entire genomes of plant pathogens. Teachers' gender, sexuality, and age affect perceptions of sexual misconduct of students. Glaciologists measure, model hard glacier beds, write slip blog to estimate glacier speeds. Scientists discover faster way to manufacture vascular materials. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Saturday, May 15th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Bland wins first European Tour event at 478th attempt. E. coli outbreak in Washington likely tied to yogurt brand sold at PCC Community Market, health officials say. Some Wembley fans boo as players take a knee at FA Cup final. Accused Florida deputy denies planting drugs in stopped cars. Southampton beats already relegated Fulham 3-1 in EPL. PGA Championship 21, a trivia quiz for a century of PGAs. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Home sales in Santa Clara, San Mateo and Santa Cruz counties, May 15th. Home sales in Contra Costa County, May 15th. Home sales in Alameda County, May 15th. COVID, California's new case average lowest in more than a year. The latest, China cancels attempts to climb Mount Everest. Sunnyvale community briefs for the week of May 21st. Nonprofit unveils market for food insecure clients. Milpitas community briefs for the week of May 21st. Prep Roundup, Palo Alto cools off Mountain View Ace, Granada's Joshua Morano pitches no-hitter. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Sununu insists Biden disrespected police with flag directive. Hulk's bomb threat at Joint Base Andrews briefly shut down main gate, suspect taken into custody. Israeli airstrike destroys high-rise building housing AP office in Gaza City. Masks off, polls cheer reopening of bars and restaurants. Cori Bush honors Ferguson activist known for heckling cops with pigs chant. China lands spacecraft on Mars for first time, state media. Walmart to allow vaccinated shoppers, workers to go maskless. Missouri passes COVID-19 liability shield for businesses. Larry Hogan, MD governor, lifts indoor mask mandate for vaccinated, unvaccinated people. Researcher gets 3-year prison term for covert China work. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Settlement push in East Jerusalem neighborhood shows Israeli apartheid. The system that killed Vertex Sears. Facebook secret rules about the word Zionist impede criticism of Israel. Documents reveal pharma plot to stop generic COVID-19 vaccine waiver. But what about Hamas's rockets? Rank-and-file Democrats slow to call for restricting aid to Israel. Twitter's lackluster verification policy hurts primary challengers. Tax-exempt U.S. nonprofits fuel Israeli settler push to evict Palestinians. As Israel attacked Gaza, it heard something new: opposition from Congress. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Saturday, May 15, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Simple surgery prevents strokes in heart patients. Rutgers reports first instance of COVID-19 triggering recurrent blood clots in arms. Pancreatic cancer trials fail to include minorities despite worse outcomes. Study of hip fracture patient characteristics and outcomes pre- and post-COVID-19 outbreak. Changes in filled opioid, naloxone prescriptions before, during COVID-19. Which animals will survive climate change? Etching process enhances the extraction of hydrogen during water electrolysis. Earth's oldest minerals date onset of plate tectonics to 3.6 billion years ago. Hanging by a thread, imaging and probing chains of single atoms. Cataloging breast cells to find cancer origins. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. 3 men shot in gunfight at near North parking garage. Beloved, successful Bogan basketball coach Arthur Goody Goodwin dies at 54. 5 shot, 2 fatally, at party in Gresham. Marjorie Taylor Greene's combative behavior could spark ethics review. Locals Mark Ranowski, Don Gardner lead South Dakota State into FCS championship game. Man charged with January Cragen shooting. Lightfoot can be written off completely but has a lot of work to do to have shot at re-election, BGA president says. 2021 Chicago Sky Preview, championship or bust? Life at Notre Dame has been a snap for Michael Vinson. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Saturday, May 15, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Texas legislature approves controversial heartbeat bill that would ban abortions at 6 weeks. Ultimate Fighting Championship returns to Houston Saturday night. Openings and closings, 4 Seasons gets up on Latin Steakhouse, the roastery closes. The perfect team to trade with the Houston Texans for Deshaun Watson. Live Nation to open new music venue at Post HTX in November. Reviews for the uneasily quarantined, Spiral. Houston's 5 best weekend food bets, a Saturday night market and Sunday barbecue brunch. The Houston Press scores 2 wins in regional First Amendment awards. The next headlines are about world records making news. Cockcroft claims another gold at World Para Athletics Grand Prix in Knoxville, Incident Games. Peace. Hydrogen-powered Hyundai Nexo sets world record, travels 900 km, News Track English. Kenneth Keyser, Taneycomo is great trout destination, Blue Springs Examiner. Nagaland's beloved Long Lane creates world record, clocks 150,000 kilometers in 4 years, The Print. National Mimosa Day, 9 to try in the Wilmington area, including a world record setting one, StarNewsOnline.com. Croatian diver Budimir Sobat featured in Guinness World Records for longest ever breath hold. Total Croatian news. Delano Ramblings, upcoming Olympics sparks memories of 56 games in Melbourne, the Bakersfield Californian. What happened between Arafat and world record holder Stig Severinsen? Yahoo India News. Claire Curzon lowers world junior record in 53:24.17, swim. Phoebe Bacon joins elite company in U.S. swimming's strongest events, home of the Olympic Channel. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. The entire state of California is in drought, but the impacts are just beginning. Emily Blunt says Edge of Tomorrow 2 is too expensive to film. Ex-Apple employee claims company knew about his misogynistic writings and hired him anyway. More Indiana Jones 5 casting suggests it might actually happen this time. A Mitchells vs. the Machines deleted scene reveals a Voltron-esque villain. One of Waymo's autonomous taxis got stumped by traffic cones and fled its fleshy overlords. All the animals American men think they can beat in a fight and why they cannot. Doctor Who audio adventure starring John Barrowman and David Tennant cancelled. Archivists want to make C-Hub uncensorable. Big smiles, big abs, and big swords in the giant-sized toys of the week. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Nuwasib in Kuwait at 118.04 degrees Fahrenheit or 47.8 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Concordia in Antarctica at minus 105.34 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 76.3 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. The chip shortage is driving up tech prices starting with TVs. Colonial Pipeline paid a $5 million ransom and kept a vicious cycle turning. China has successfully landed on Mars, updated. Pipeline attacker DarkSide suddenly goes dark, here's what we know. Researchers force two mice to hang out and induce FOMO in a third. Despite big Marvel and Star Wars shows, Disney Plus falls short of targets. Internet service providers claim broadband prices aren't too high. Biden admin isn't buying it. Mysterious health attack cases rise to 130, U.S. officials confirm. TSMC is considering a 3nm foundry in Arizona. Mount Vesuvius victims died just moments away from rescue. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Crime of the century, Trump issues furious statements lashing out at Pence and Mitch McConnell for his election loss. That didn't age well, right-wingers mocked for celebrating fake news that Don Lemon is leaving CNN. Very dangerous California white supremacist gang member charged in Fresno murder, report. National Terrorism Alert warns domestic extremists could strike as states begin easing COVID-19 restrictions. Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing the dirty work her GOP colleagues wish they could do. Experts still believe the National Guard delay on January 6 was politically driven, even after this week's testimony. A GOP takeover of the House could blow up in their faces, here's how. GOP consultants worry Stefanik will help Trump cripple their 2022 election hopes, report. Nevada lawmakers under fire for blowing $2,500 on membership in far-right extremist group. Marjorie Taylor Greene is in Congress for all the wrong reasons, and both Republicans and Democrats have an aversion to her. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Marjorie Taylor Greene may have just been caught in an illegal property tax scheme. Congressional Democrats are all vaccinated, their Republican colleagues, not so much. Big Tech doesn't want you fixing your gadgets, this federal agency is calling BS. See Myanmar's crisis through the eyes of the photographers risking their lives to bear witness. House Dems and Republicans strike a deal on a 1/6 commission, but there's one big catch. Canada declares plastics toxic, paving the way for restrictions. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Study finds evidence of solar wind particles buried within Earth's core, CTV News. Some Canadians may see display of colorful vapor clouds from NASA rocket launch Saturday, CTV News. China Mars rover to land between Saturday and Wednesday, CTV News. 7 Art Bell facts they don't want you to know about the late conspiracy radio host, NorthJersey.com. The following items are today's top search results for the term neural plasticity. How learning a new language can help you boost business success, Global Trade Magazine. In Sensor Reservoir Computing for Language Learning via Two-Dimensional Memristors, Science Advances. Some people with color blindness report improved color vision after psychedelic drug use, SciPost. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Saturday, May 15, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. UFO sphere filmed entering ocean by another Navy ship, USS Omaha. Plasma UFOs created by US Navy laser. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Saturday, May 15, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News8. All rights reserved.